Okay, another video real quick, again, so I don't forget any of this stuff, mainly, and I'm just going to share it and let you guys know that I posted it also. This is a follow-up to the last video that I posted about my Wooden family, so it just made me a little bit more curious and kind of filling in some areas of my mom's family or double checking some areas. And um, so Richard Morris and Christina Moninger, they are I believe, my third grandparents on my Morris side, my mom's Morris side. And again, it was my Morrises that come. That's where my Woodens come from, anyway. My grandmother was Lula Wooden, and her dad was Richard Morris. And so basically, just what I noticed here, and again, this area just kind of caught my attention because we, I know Denise, and this may or may not be relevant, but there's a lot of Welches on her DNA matches and among our common DNA matches, and so what's interesting, so Richard Squire is a descendant of my Morris family line. And Laura Mae Welch, if you actually take a look at her, she is related as well because she is a descendant of this famous line, this Woodward Dean line that we all know, where basically all of our DNA men. There is a Pratt there as well, but so this John Woodward. William Dean. I mean, basically, it backs up to all of this. Which this is my dad's side of the family, and so basically, you have my dad's side of the family, and this is where, I mean, on my tree, our Dean DNA matches. This is the farthest back that I can trace them. Is these William Dean. The Dean-Woodward line, which that we're all familiar with. Um, these folks here, Laura would be a descendant of that line, so that would be a cousin on my dad's side of the family. I guess you could say a fifth cousin marrying a cousin that is a descendant of my mom's family, which is going to be a first cousin third removed. So, and it does show on the DNA matches. Roger Halpin is a DNA match to me, and he is a descendant of this same line, this Morris line. And whenever you look at our DNA matches in common, I mean, right off here you have a Marthy, Patsy Williams, Miller, and Boone Cannon. And that's a line that I have been exploring for all of us as well. The Cannon, Finn Cannon, Boone Cannon, they have about 4 different variations. But whenever you go down the DNA match list, it does start off with mostly paternal matches, but you are going to run into a variety of paternal matches as well. And of course, I'm probably going to eat my words here, but so there's one paternal. Whenever you look at some of the other DNA matches in common as well, you're actually going to get more of a mixture also. And again, this doesn't necessarily mean anything, so I pulled up the person that came up in the DNA matches that is linked to my dad's side. And again, you are pulling up the usual folks here. A lot of people, on my dad's side, but then you are also, as expected, mixing in some maternal D. So there's Roger Halpin, who was the person that we were looking at earlier. So he's going to be a mix. And again, he could just be one of those random people that match on both sides. But given that line drops back to the line that, of the Deans and the Woodwards, which is where, I mean, that's the only place that I can trace that line going. And so to me, that's always just been a dead end. But this is an interesting lead to me because Again, so far I've not seen actually any maternal matches, but I know I did before. Paternal, paternal, paternal. I pulled up one of their matches earlier, and it was a nice mixture. So now we get one. Okay, 2 maternals, 3 maternals. Okay, so it's changing a little bit. So you get and this is always kind of what I imagined as I went into the last video. I've always imagined it to be confusing, and something like this I could see, because it's basically, I mean, it's a Morris line thing of my mom's side. And then it could also, I mean, all of our DNA matches seem to point back to the Deans and the Woodwards and all that, which is on my dad's side. And again, as I mentioned in the last video, I've always kind of thought it would be something messy, or a line that we didn't know about, or possibly a line that we just haven't explored that much. So one of the newer lines to me. Which would be like my Cole line, my Williams line, my Boone Cannon line. Those are the lines that I've experimented with the least. And the reason I think that is because we've all spent so much time on this. I don't think it can possibly just be, it's my second grandfather. I don't think it's going to be anything like that. And so that is all I was going to put on here. Just that the Deans, whenever you go back, they do link later on. There are going to be some people that link to my mother's side as well through the Morris line.